They moved on, but you didn't. The person you're still hurting over is no longer hurting over you. And the hardest part? You wake up, and they're the first thing on your mind. Not because you want them to be, but because your heart hasn't caught up with reality yet. So you replay everything. The conversations, the laughs, the little moments that meant everything to you, but maybe not as much to them. And deep down, you already know that. But knowing and letting go are two completely different things. So you check their profile. You tell yourself you won't, but you do. And every time you do, it feels like reopening a wound that never fully healed. They look fine, happy even, living their life. While you're stuck in a version of the past that no longer exists. And the worst part is, you can't even explain this pain properly. Because on the outside, it looks like you should have moved on by now. But inside, you're still there. Still holding on. Still hoping. Still hurting. Here's the truth most people don't say out loud. You're not just missing them. You're missing who you were with them. You're grieving the version of yourself that felt safe, wanted, chosen. Because when they left, they didn't just take their presence. They took the way they made you feel. And now you're trying to find that feeling again, in memories. But memories don't hug you back. They don't text you. They don't choose you. They just sit there, reminding you of what's gone. And that's why it's so hard to move on. Because you're not just letting go of a person. You're letting go of an entire emotional world you built around them. And so you stay, emotionally stuck, telling yourself things like, maybe they'll come back. Maybe they miss me too. Maybe I just need to wait. But deep down, you already know the truth. If they wanted to be there, they would be. If they cared the way you did, you wouldn't feel this confused. You wouldn't feel this alone. You wouldn't be questioning your worth every single night. And yet, you still hold on. Not because you're weak, but because you loved deeply. And people who love deeply don't let go easily. But here's where it starts to hurt you. You begin to shrink. You overthink everything. You blame yourself. What did I do wrong? Why wasn't I enough? And slowly, you start abandoning yourself, the same way they did. But what if this isn't about them anymore? What if the real battle is between who you were and who you're becoming? Because right now, you're standing at a quiet crossroads. One path keeps you stuck, replaying, hurting, waiting for something that may never come back. And the other, letting go. Not because it doesn't hurt, but because you finally choose yourself. Letting go doesn't mean you didn't love them. It means you're finally loving yourself enough to stop choosing pain, to stop chasing closure from someone who already closed the door. Healing won't happen overnight. There will be days you feel strong and nights that break you again. Moments where you almost text them and moments where you finally don't. That's growth. Messy, uncomfortable, but real. You don't need them to come back, to feel whole again. You don't need their apology to find peace. You don't need their validation to know your worth, because your worth was never defined by their ability to see it. And one day, you'll wake up, and they won't be the first thought anymore. Not because you forced it, but because you finally allowed yourself to heal. And when that day comes, you won't miss them. You'll miss the lesson, and you'll be grateful. You chose yourself when it mattered most. So tonight, instead of asking, why did they leave? Ask yourself, why am I still staying in a place that hurts me? Because healing begins the moment you stop waiting for someone else to save you. and start choosing yourself, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. If this felt like your story, comment, "I choose myself." And if you're ready to heal, grow, and face real truths, subscribe to The Silent Battles, Real Truths, because this time, you're not losing them. You're finding yourself.